Traders, welcome back to another monthly recap. Guys, today we're going to go over April month in review. We're going to take a look at all the ins and outs of my metrics, and we're going to dissect and see what we can do better and how we can improve for next month. All right, so let's jump into it. All right, let's get a drum roll. Drum roll, please. All right, here we go. Here's a look at the calendar. All right, so we had 4 red days. Not too bad. Guys, the month started off, pretty decent, right? On our second day, which was a Tuesday, we really dialed it in and did exceptionally well with the biggest green day of the month at 3,400. Now, the rest of the first week was not so strong, as you guys will see here. A $20 green day, barely green, and then red 400. Usually when my green days are decreasing, I have to be careful, right? This is sometimes a sign, not always, but sometimes a sign that things could be slowing down. Week 2, we start off strong, and this is the beauty of studying. We had Good Friday, I believe, on the 7th, but we studied up. We came back on Monday, starting the week off strong, 800, then 300, then 600, or basically 7 here, and then a nice $1,800 day before a red day on Friday. So, second week, or third week rather, again, using the weekend and using the weekend to study up and reviewing my mistakes and improving. So this was another good week, but again, Thursday, Fridays, right? Friday really, struggling. And last week, final week of the month, we're gonna have a all green week, which is great. And slow and steady. Monday, slow and steady. Tuesday, a little bit better. Wednesday, following up. Thursday, a little on the slower side as we were red and then green. If we can avoid the red starts, guys, if we can avoid these red starts, I mean, look at this. Down 450, down 500 before bringing it back. It's tough when we're having to dig ourselves from that kind of a hole. And then Friday, likewise, despite being a big green day, 2,800, I believe the second best day of the month, we also had to dig ourselves out of the hole. And we're down about 800 at one point, before seeing some winning trades, giving a little bit back, and then seeing a good surge later in the afternoon with stock HUDI. So, red, 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 red to start the day. Not good. Paper cuts, small green. So we're basically flat, and then just a sea of red right here. So yeah, guys, let's move on to the detailed section. And we can look at win-loss versus days first, actually. So we had a 78% accuracy throughout the month in terms of green days and red days. 15 green days and 4 red days. Not too bad. Total gains on our green days, 15,235 versus 1,720 in losses on our 4 red days. And guys, $430, I feel like it's a lot, but at the same time, we are using a little bit more size, and the green days are a little bit bigger as well, which is good. But I still think we can get this number lower, especially if on some of these red days, it really comes down to discipline. And, are you willing to sit around and wait patiently for more A quality opportunities? Sometimes it's slow, but, you can sit here another hour or two and you might see a good A quality setup that can pull you back up a little bit, right? Which I do know some of the other guys do. But again, you got to be careful not get yourself deeper into the red. So it's always a slippery slope, a fine line, right? Coming down, winning trades, 622 for 49%. Our accuracy has been down a little bit. It hasn't been great. We could definitely do a little bit better in our accuracy, get up there to 52, 55%. All right. So as we come on down, and at this point, we might as well come over here to detail, right, and get a better look. And we can zoom in here so you guys, can see everything. There we go. So, $13,515, guys, in gross gains with an average of 711. per day. Volume 218,000 shares. Average winning trade $62. Average losing trade $41. This is about a 1.5 to 1. We are trying to aim for a 2 to 1 so we can really and truly do better than this. I'm pretty sure we can do better than this. You know, sometimes it comes down to being more aware and more cautious of the type of entries that we're taking. This can, of course, increase accuracy and efficiency, right? Number of winning trades, as we were mentioning just now, you know, we can do a little bit of a better job overall between the green and red days, right? This is more of an aggregate between the two versus the win-loss, which is just measuring green and then red days. We're at 48%, so we can improve here. Average hold time winning trades 20 seconds, average hold time losing trades 20 seconds, and average hold time scratch trades 20 seconds. If you hover over this, it actually gives you a more of an exact number. So you have 16 seconds versus 10 seconds and then 15 seconds. So, you know, not too bad. Largest gain 732, largest loss 439. Not quite the 2 to 1 here as well. So there's definitely work to be done. Best day of the week, Tuesday, you know, following up that big $3,200 green day, 3,400. Monday, not too bad. Thursday, though, can definitely use a little work, definitely lagging behind. Friday, you know, thankfully for that nice green day, you know, $2,800 day, or Friday would have been in the dumps, right? And before I did import stats before having that last trade, that last stock, we were just over 10,000. And then, of course, the winner is going to push us up here again, 13.5. So, you know, not bad. These are gross gains. Net, we probably reduce maybe, you know, if I have to just take a guess, maybe like $150 out of here for the hidden fees that they have. Maybe a little bit more. But yeah, it's not too bad. So anyhows, performance by hour of day, well, definitely more than 150. Probably more like 400. Yeah, like three, I'd say like three, let's say 350. Because, you know, maybe like $10 a day over, you know, 20 days, somewhere around 250, 350. Yeah, performance by hour of day, you know, coming into the open, of course, is where we're doing our best. This is why I'm usually so aggressive, you know, taking trades early and throwing share size out there, stabbing at the entries, is because I know between 9:30 and 10, the first 30 minutes, I'm usually doing my best. All right. And you can see there's a sharp drop off. And a lot of this has to do with me leaving. And, you know, again, so periodically I'll come back. You know, we do have small losses here. And periodically we'll come back. And, you know, if something is moving, we'll take a trade or two. But part of me buying the standing desk, you know, right now I'm sitting down. Part of me buying the standing desk is so that I could have, you know, be here for longer. But to be honest, whether I'm sitting or standing, it seems like my body just, you know, it doesn't want to be here for long, right? I'm standing now and it's like now my knees are giving out, right? So there goes another problem, right? You solve one, and as you guys know, in life it seems like adversity is always around the corner, because you get one thing done and then the next thing comes up, you know. But we'll keep pushing, and that's why we are relentless traders, of course, right? Uh, you know, well, not let's not get distracted. It's gonna go off in a different direction. But yeah, to move on, price and volume under two, not so good. But we've been, you know, avoiding a lot of the sub $1 stocks. This is where this price range could really be good. Stocks, you know, around 50 cents. Even stocks around 150. But you know, sticking to the price range here between 2 and 5, and then of course 5 and 10. Right, 5 and 10 doing a little bit better as we had more range, I think. You know, the stocks have, you know, this bigger spread and are a little bit more volatile. And if we can get into the right areas, we can capitalize. Now, the cheaper stocks, you know, the spreads are usually tighter, and, you know, you get a chance to take bigger size, right? So the only issue I didn't like this month is that we saw some of the cheaper stocks, you know, having a lot of downside risk as if they were more expensive, right? The downside risk just as high as the upside potential, which is never what we want to see. We want to see the imbalance to the buy side, right? Limited risk, and you know, high reward, or good reward, fair reward. Between 10 and 20, 1300. Between 20 and 50, 489. All right. So yeah, let's continue on. performance by, top stocks. HUDI leading the way, BFRG, CXAI, GFAI, and VYNE are the top four, top five. I believe CXAI, we did give back a little off the top. There's a couple of other stocks that should have been up here, but we unfortunately just did not do very well on. SAI, very low on the list. Losing stocks, and this is exactly what you want to see, guys. Big, and we talk about having a 2-to-1, right? In terms of the 2-to-1 here, top five versus top five, we're blowing it out of the water, right? 3.2 versus 470, right? So there's a lot of different ways to interpretate and look at metrics. And I do want to talk a little bit about not stressing over metrics, because some of us can stress over the metrics, whether accuracy or green days. Guys, you can have not saying that we want this, but you could have 3 weeks of red days and 1 week of green green days, and still end the month very well in shape, right? It just comes down to what those red days were looking like, right? You could have been averaging $50 losses, and then the last week of the month, 2K green days every day. You're still looking at a $9,000 month, right? So metrics are, it isn't very exact, right? There's different ways to look at it. There's different ways to interpret things. Things, whatever makes sense makes sense. Whatever's a constant is a constant. But you have to be able to be flexible and not obsess. All right. So keep that in mind, whether it's your accuracy, green days, anything else. Performance by volume. Some of you guys might want to see this, so I can come down here in terms of the EMAs, things like that. But yeah, we'll scroll back up and continue. So market behavior relative to the SPY. Wherever the SPY is at, we're doing all right. Although it didn't seem like we had a lot of days that were up or below 2%. Win-loss expectation. This is the metric that I don't like to look at all. All right. So this basically tells me the amount of money that passed through my account, right? And on the month, we made 43,000, but there's always a but. We lost 29,000. Not good. Not good. Not good. Again, I'd love to have a 2-to-1 in every aspect, but it's not the case. But the thing I always tell myself is that, hey, the thing that can help you be, your best is always going to be discipline. Are you disciplined enough to follow the rules day in, day out? Are you disciplined enough to take the right entries day in, day out? And in those split decision moments, can you continue to build on the experience to ultimately then be able to make the best decision, right? The best decision. That way, I'll become more consistent. And these metrics in return will improve, paying attention to the indicators, right? Paying attention to the indicators and really doing my due diligence before taking the trades. And, these numbers will increase and improve over time. And so it is challenging, right? Because trading is fast paced. There's a lot of things that we have to, a lot of decisions we have to make on the fly, and it has to be very quick. And so it is a part of the challenge. But, you guys know, for all of us who are here trading, that's the challenge we accept. And so we just have to pride ourselves on being better and continue to stay consistent. All right. So let's come on back up. Win-loss versus days, which we did check out a little earlier, right? Again, we had 15 green days versus 4 red days. And let's not forget, actually, if we come back, we can take a look at the cumulative P&L in terms of the equity curve. So it's been a nice steady month. We didn't really have too many big drawdowns, just certain areas where we gave back a couple hundred dollars, and then we continued going. So pretty good stuff all in all. Biggest drawdown was about $731. So very solid month, guys. If we come here to compare, we can compare this month to August of last year, which was my best month last year. So let's generate those numbers. All right, so let's come back to August 1st. By August 31st, 2022. At least one must have all. Okay, yeah. Start date April 3rd to April 28th. So April definitely had less days, that's for sure, right? Less days than August last year. So last year we did 237,000 shares. That's the first thing my eyes are noticing. Versus this month we did 218,000 shares. So volume is down, and being that we did better in gains tells me that we were a little bit more efficient on our trades. Now I'm seeing that accuracy, and pay attention to trades here. Look at the difference, is disparity really in trades, in total number of trades. We're essentially at half the amount of trades. And is this over trading? I don't know if I'd say so. I remember August being a crazy month, man, where you can literally come in here 6 a.m. pre-market, and there'll be opportunities from 6 a.m. throughout the day all the way till, let's say 6 p.m. pre-market. You literally could trade 12 hours throughout the day versus now, you know, the opportunities are coming in spurts, and it's mainly the first hour or first 2 hours, maybe power hour or lunch hour. So there was definitely a lot more going on, but we also, I feel like we lost a lot more too. We lost a lot of money. At this point I'd made the most and lost the most money in 1 month. But yeah, this is definitely interesting. So 2,500 versus 1,400. Very big difference there. And we can even see average trade gain slash loss is a little bit bigger on this side. All right. Coming down, we have hold time. So 16, 16, that hasn't changed. 15. So we're cutting the losses a little quicker. 7, and the scratch trades are holding a little longer. Biggest gain 700. So biggest loss, and this was the day where I sized up 3K shares, halted stock at 17. The entry comes and goes without me. I still try to buy, instantly red 1K. It should have been a much worse loss actually than it was. But average position, what is this? MFE. I have to look this up. MFE. I'm not even sure what that means. But yeah, pretty decent. Good to see the improvement. And what this tells me is that trading is so promising, right? Because if I'm to essentially trade more, let's say this month did provide more opportunities, and I am as efficient as I am here, or even more efficient, that alone could double up the gains, right? If there's that much more opportunities and the opportunities are smooth, we're doing a better job capitalizing, our accuracy is higher. Like this is 51 versus 48 is a huge difference, right? So this is interesting, man. It's encouraging. And before we end it off, I do want to show you guys something here, right? So I took a look, and we always talk about how positive competition is good, right? Positive competition. We never compare ourselves to others and get upset or angry. It's all about motivation, encouragement, and inspiration. So I want to take a look at Crispy's and Marcelo's, Mighty and Crispy's uh, YouTube, going over their profit loss statements, right? So here's Crispy's, right? So Crispy, and the number I really want us to focus on is volume, right? So average daily gain $4,322, and let's look at volume, guys. This is the number I really want to focus on. 720,000 shares of volume per day. How many? How much shares of volume? Is Relentless Trader pushing 218,000. So it goes to tell me that if I'm using more share size, I can potentially see more gains. Likewise, Marcelo. Marcelo, and his is a little smaller. Maybe we enlarge it here. Marcelo pushing 407,000 shares of volume, right, for an average of 1.9 a day. So guys, and as we're getting on the other side, uh, of the learning curve and becoming profitable, and for me, this is the challenge, and it has been the challenge for a while now, is continuing to use more share size. I am proud of the progress I've made so far, because if we're to just go back a few months, even a few years, we'll see that I've increased in volume tremendously, right? From about 40,000 at the beginning of last year to now doing 200,000, you know, regularly, right? But can we double and triple that volume, right? And again, when you're using more shares, the growth in the P&L is not linear, right? It compounds. So, I really think that if I can continue to push myself, be a little bit more outside of my comfort zone, I can and I will be able to see even better months. It's only a matter of time. And this month here, we're going to be active about it. It's something I want to be conscious of. And it reminds me really of going from the sim to a live account, right? From 10 shares to 1,000 shares. And the concept of it is, can you trade the same way? Can you hold the trades just as long as you do? Can you cut the losses just as quick as you do? Can you be fearless and understand that what you're doing works and works well? I'm a man of logic, and best believe that Relentless Trader understands fully of where he is and what he can do and what he will do. And you know, the numbers that I'm doing now, again, I'm very grateful for. I'm very humbled. I'm glad that I'm even here and can do this. But when I fantasize and when I daydream and I go through trade scenarios in my head, I always see myself doing it at a much, 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 much larger scale. Like I see myself in the ideas that I run through my head. I see myself sometimes having like $75,000 days in certain trade situations. But the only thing that is left is for me to essentially put my money where my mind is and be able to be comfortable with that. And that doesn't mean, hey, 10,000 shares tomorrow. No, I can still go slow and steady and gradual, but it's something I want to continue to actively think about and put plans in place so that I can improve over time and continue to do so. All right. That's the main thing. Understanding a problem or situation and then making a plan of action. All right. So I'm gonna draft up a plan, and I'm gonna come correct for the next month, because I am a man of my words, and ultimately, this is what needs to be done, and so I will get it done. Right. In fact, I have high standards. I put a lot of pressure on myself sometimes, so I don't have a choice. Um, of course, the market conditions and market sentiment always plays a role because it's not just me. There's also the market. If the market sucks next month, then we'll do what we have to do and reduce size and these type of things. But assuming that the market condition stays in a good place, we will try our best to achieve our goals and to stick to our plan. All right, because it all comes down to discipline. It all comes down to discipline. So as usual, some motivation here to end us off, guys. Remember that no matter where you are in your journey, you know there's always a learning curve. Remember to not rush the process. you know Rome wasn't built in a day, right? That's the popular saying. Continue to take it slow and steady. Continue to be consistent. Continue to be disciplined. Even when you feel like you don't want to, you still have to do it. Even when you're red and you don't want to study, you don't want to do the recap, you still have to do it, right? It's okay to take a necessary break if you need to, but other than that, let's keep at it. Let's stay consistent. A lot of us have a lot of different things going on. A lot of you guys, head of the household, head of the family. And so, let's continue to make the right decisions. Let's continue to make the decisions that are in our best interests. And let's continue to approach the market in a safe and methodical way. And let's not get carried away. Remember that the market will be here. The market was here before us. It will be here after us, right? So the market isn't going anywhere. Just continue to take your time. There's no need to feel any FOMO. There's no reason to say, oh man, RT's green today and I'm not. Mighty's green today and I'm not. Crispy, green today and I'm not. Save, green today. 10K, how am I only able to make $10 today? That is not the way how you want to do it, guys. Remember, there's no rush. And everyone's start time is different. Everybody's going through a different journey, a different speed, a different time. So, don't feel any type of way if you see somebody else being able to do it. Maybe you started trading at the same time with them, but they're profitable already. Your timing is your timing. But the main thing is to not cheat yourself or rob yourself, and make sure you always continue to put in the work and stay disciplined. Because at the end of the day, we don't want any regrets. That's the main thing. We don't want to, 5 years from now say, man, I should have been studying more. I should have been recording my screen more often. I should have been. No, there's no should have been. There is only what's happening now and how well we can put forth our best effort to be efficient about it, right? Let's be efficient traders. Let's be efficient managers in our lives, right? Let's not procrastinate. Whatever needs to be done, let's do it now. Fix up your broker today. Fix up your screen recording today. Fix up your hotkeys today. Do the research that you need to do today, because ultimately the things that are uncomfortable and hard are the things that allow us to grow the most. All right. And that's with any field. So let's do what is uncomfortable, and let's not fall victim to our human desire of laziness. All right. Because laziness is always on the other side of everything that's hard. It's like, man, you know what? I'm just gonna go watch this Disney Channel, this Disney Plus show. I'm gonna just go watch this Netflix show, and I'll just set up my hotkeys later today, tomorrow. No, do not put off what you can do today for tomorrow. Do not put off what you can do today for tomorrow. This is beyond trading, right? So let's stay dialed in. Let's stay focused. Let's continue to do the right set of things. And let's challenge ourselves to always do what's right in the moment, right? Let's always choose righteousness. Let's always choose what's right. Let's be disciplined about it. Into the new month, let's work on cutting our losses faster. Let's work on holding our winners longer. Let's work on understanding price action a little bit better. Let's continue to work on the foundation and the basics of trading. Candlesticks, patterns. Guys, do not underestimate the power of candlesticks and what the candlesticks represent, what they mean. Each candlestick is telling a story. Make sure to pay attention to your indicators. Pay attention to your volume profile. How's the volume looking on this candle? What time frame am I looking at? Am I too zoomed in? Am I too tunnel vision? Am I going too hard? Do I need to take a step back? Do I need to zoom out? Trading is not easy, and there's a lot of moving components at the same time. Think of it as an organism, as a human body, as maybe some sort of machinery like a car, right? There's so many different things happening at once, for you to be. There's so many things happening at once, and you have to multitask in order to be successful. You have to pay attention, and it's why it's great to trade without distractions. But for those of us who might be in a situation where that's the reality, then we do what we must. All right, we do what we must. We still push through. So no matter the situation, no matter the time and place, no matter who you are, where you're from, and trading is hard, but there is hope. There is a chance that it can be done, but we have to go 110%. All right. So with that being said, it's been Relentless Trader. Hit that thumbs up button. It's a longer video here, and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back tomorrow for some more content. It's been RT. I am, of course, signing out.